When will I learn to not eat or drink things just because creepily written notes tell me to? Whoever keeps sending me this stuff is clearly trying to kill me. I just finished having diarrhea for the last 2 hours. Anyway, let's take a look at the first Alice in Wonderland adaptation from the sound era, but it may not be the one you're expecting. The first Alice in Wonderland adaptation in the sound era, the 1931 version was not a major Hollywood production. It was independently produced by a company called Metropolitan Studios and was filmed in Fort Lee, New Jersey, truly a bastion of entertainment that could even rival Kansas City. This version often gets overshadowed by later adaptations, such as the more famous Paramount version that came out only 2 years later, but this independent version stands out for several reasons. It was the first talkie adaptation of the story, so this was the first time that many people could hear Lewis Carroll's distinctively quirky dialogue spoken out loud on the big screen.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid for a great many more than 3.
Your hair wants cutting.
It's not often that independent film productions from this early in film history survive the ravages of time. Countless films from the silent and early sound eras were destroyed or lost, so the fact that this film exists at all is amazing. But what stands out the most about this version is that it feels like it was made by mental patients. Don't be fooled by that delightful theme song composed by Irving Berlin. From the moment the opening credits end and the film officially begins, you feel like you've entered an insane asylum. Oddly appropriate given the subject matter. Alice doesn't even really fall down the rabbit hole or have scenes in the real world. She just ends up in Wonderland and begins speaking and acting like a lunatic.
Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin. But a grin without a cat? It's the most curious thing I ever saw in all my life.
You could chalk up the awkward and often manic line deliveries to the cast mostly consisting of amateur actors, and the sound era being in its infancy. Actors never had to bother with dialect coaches in the silent era, but now they suddenly had to learn how to be verbally articulate on camera. But then how do you explain scenes like this?
I thought so. You're the pretty rascal who murdered time when you tried to sing at our last royal concert. Off with his head!
Ah, no! Have mercy! Have mercy, your majesty! I am a poor man!
And then there are scenes that are just plain horrific. Easily the most disturbing scene in the book is the scene where Alice meets the Duchess and the cook. The cook fills the room with pepper, making the Duchess's baby sneeze incessantly. The Duchess sings a song about beating your baby when he sneezes. The cook throws plates around the room, and Alice escapes with the baby fearing that the women will kill him. And as if child endangerment and possible infanticide isn't enough, the baby turns into a pig and runs away. How does this movie handle such a terrifying scene? By giving the Duchess an axe! Holy crap, look at this! Look at this! This Dutchess is a slasher villain! She should star in a Versus movie where she fights the Tin Man. It's really sad that this movie isn't as well known as other adaptations, because it's the only one that really feels like it was made by people who are certifiably insane. As a result, it captures the madness of Wonderland in a way that doesn't feel like they had to try too hard. Plus, the small budget and independent production adds to the mysterious and unsettling nature of the film. It's easy to find on YouTube, so I'd say check it out, especially around the Halloween season. Seriously, that Dutchess scene looks like something from House of a Thousand Corpses. But Dane, you say, this isn't the 1930s Alice in Wonderland adaptation I remember seeing on Turner Classic Movies with my alcoholic grandmother when she was passed out on the couch when I was 8? Very oddly specific recollection, but you're right, it's not. So stay tuned tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the more famous 1933 adaptation from Paramount that some people regard as a classic, some people don't, and it's... Oh, okay, what is going on? I swear I keep seeing something out of the corner of my eye. Are you seeing it?